Hello, 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 everyone. Here we go. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in, everyone. Come on in. We welcome you here today. Come on in to Tea Time with Tracy. Come on in. Yes. Come on in. Come on in. Yes. Just gonna play it a little bit. Come on in, everyone. Feel free to comment. Let me know you're here. Come on in, everyone. Come on in. It's Tea Time with Tracy. Come on in with Tracy. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in, everyone. You're welcome to join us. Come on in to Tea Time with Tracy. We welcome you. Come on in. Come on in, everyone. Send your comments. Let me know you're here. Yes. I appreciate you. Yes. Hello there, Wanza. Glad you're here. Come on in. Please share. One more time. One more time. Let me welcome the people one more time. Everyone, as you're coming on, as you're tuning in, please give your comments so I know that you're here. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We're in for a doozy on tonight. I welcome you. Come on in. Yes. It's tea time with Tracy. Tea time with Tracy. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. It's tea time. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Oh, thank you all for tuning in to Tea Time with Tracy. I am so excited to have and you here with me on today. Oh, this is going to be a blessing. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Let me get myself together here. Yes, yes, yes. Be sure to comment. Be sure to comment. I'm going to do a couple of shares because, the people tell me that I go on and a lot of times they don't get to, they need me to remind them. So if you just bear with me a moment, let me invite a few people. But I'm so glad that you who decided to stop by are here with me. How was your day? I hope you had a wonderful day. I know I did. I know I did. Let me tell you, it's amazing. It is so amazing. Today I had such a marvelous day. When I was in my worship mode on today. Hello, Arthur. Hello, Charmaine. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. On today, I was in my worship mode, and I tell you, I was just so thrilled. Have you ever put a song on and it just ministered to you, that just blessed your life? So you're just so full, and all you could do is just give God praise and thanks for His keeping power, and just knowing that is nobody but the goodness of the Lord. And so that's what was happening to me today. Today I was on just on YouTube, and I came across this song by Kiera Sheard, and she was talking about it's happening, and I think I posted on my page. I don't know if some of you may have seen it, but it was such a blessing to me that when you start looking back over and just seeing how God is blessing you and moving in your life, and just making things happen for you. Hello, Montrese. Thank you for tuning in. There's my administrator, one of them. And it was just so good to know that God is able, how He can turn things around for you least expected, that you don't even realize that, you look back over. And yes, Denise, thank you for tuning in, Denise Wade. Yes, that song really ministered to me. It talked about covering your family. She spoke about how your money is blessed, your body's blessed, your seed is blessed, your finance is blessed. We have to speak these things. And so while I was in the midst of it, listening, I was just going into a praise like, God, thank you, because I know you've been doing this for me and mine. And so that's just where I was on this afternoon with that. And, we need to make sure that we take the time out, and to go into that praise. Give God what's due him, recognizing and understanding that it is he that is, that's keeping us, and that we have our being because of him. And that, no matter what comes and no matter what goes, God got us. God got us. He'll never leave us nor forsake us. He'll be with us always. And so that's where I was at today. And I mean, we got a topic of discussion on today, but I was so there in my thankfulness and, giving him praise and glory. He keep, showing up. He keep, having his way. He's just an awesome God. And we're just blessed. We're blessed. And so that's where I was with that song on today. And so I encourage you all that you make sure that you set aside a time of worship. Give God glory and give him praise, that you make that a happen in your life. All right. So let me see who's on. But you all know what I like to say. Can I get some hearts? Can I get some hearts? Yes, please give me the hearts. Give me the hearts. Yes. Oh, let me tell you. So look at here. Look at here. Are you gonna get your coffee? But this is tea time with Tracy. Oh, let me just say this. Thank you all for tuning in on last week when I had my daughter on, Cola. It was marvelous. With her being on, we call it coffee time with Cola. So be prepared, because that's gonna be happening soon. We're gonna be, chiming in and having those little moments, because it's nice to have another voice, and especially a younger voice, and that can address the daughters, or the younger generation. And not saying that I can, but it's nice to have that face, that representation coming to the forefront as well. But let me show you. Look, guys, I got on. You see, I have on my T-shirt. Let me see if I can hide this thing. It says "Save and Natural." Let me see if I'm doing it right. Save and Natural. I am wearing this T-shirt. My cousin, I hope she comes on. I meant to make sure. Let me see. Let me share. I have on this T-shirt. Let me see if I can get her. My cousin have a business. Um, it's called Journey, and it's natural here, and all of the oil she gave me. I ordered, I blessed her, bought a bottle of this here. Am I doing it right? It's called Journey oil, and it's for help your hair and the natural growth. Just it's really good. I've seen her here. I've seen what she's doing with it, but she also have these T-shirts, and let me tell you, this T-shirt is very comfortable. It's very soft, and it's a size that I thought I couldn't fit, but I can fit. So I'm like, wow, this is marvelous. Hello, Princess Roni. So I wanted to put that out there, that she has this, and I told her when she comes on to give her link, and we're gonna make sure that you all tap into it. But it's really good product, and I'm about to see my hair is gonna grow. I need my hair to grow, and this particular oil is going to do the job, and so you're gonna see the results of it. So I just wanted to put that out there. Um, so let me hear you. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing on today? How's everyone doing on today? As you all can see, you know, those of you, let me just say this tea time for all the newcomers that are coming on and new viewers. This is Tea Time with Tracy, where we come together to encourage one another, to admire and to inspire one another, and in our relationships. A lot of times you hear people say, let's spread the tea, let's spill the tea, and that's something negative. But that's not what we do here at Tea Time with Tracy. Here at Tea Time with Tracy is all about being positive. It's all about making sure that we help build each other, encourage each other, and to assist each other along the way. Because we believe in relationships of all types, from your marriages to your family relationships, mother and daughter relationships, which this is generated from that because of the book I've written over a year ago called An Unbreakable Bond, the ultimate mother and daughter relationship. As you see on the bottom, you can get a copy. You can go to my website. It's telling you that there, I believe. All you got to do is www.tracyhines.com, and you'll be able to get your ebook, or you're able to um, get a autographed copy. You have to indicate that. So that's what this had generated from. I've been on over a year now, over a year now with Tea Time with Tracy. We've been having some wonderful discussions and been a blessing to many. Thank you, Naturel, for coming in. And so your copy should be gone out to you already. I spoke with my mentor, and she said that she was sending it. So I hope you let me know when you get it, Naturel. So also, my other administrator is here. Awesome. And so I'm not gonna. I just want to set the ground rules on what's going on here at Tea Time with Tracy. So please know also that here you are able to send your comments on the discussion matter. Matter of fact, let me put that up. What the discussion is. Let me put up what the discussion is. Did I type it? I did type it. I want you all to know that you are able to, that your comments are welcome here. Your opinion matters, and we will do our best to post and to quote it. Okay? So I just want to make sure that you are aware of that. So we have a very interesting topic on tonight. Can I put it here? Hi. Did I put it there? Let me put it up. Okay. So, oh, I also have a, did I put it? I think I put it in the main comment. Yes, I put it in the main one from earlier. But the topic of discussion on today, let me post it just to be on the safe side. Okay, how about I'll do that? I don't know where I did it. I'm sure I did it. It's called the Tea. I know I wrote it. So bear with me just a moment. Oh, thank you, Naturel. Thank you. Yes, I spoke with her, and she informed me that the book was being sent. So I don't know what the holdup is. But no, Matrice, I'm going to put it up now. I'm going to do it now. It's called the Tea. I thought I typed it, but I guess I did not. I didn't save it. But it is called, I did put it up, but okay, parent. I did put it, but it didn't for somehow or another, and missed the mark. Absent. Excuse me. Sometimes these things happen. Present. Okay, ghost parent. Present, but not present. right? Present but not present. I think that's what it was, right? Oh, it didn't say. The T is a ghost parent, present but not present. That is the topic of discussion on tonight. Right. The devastating effects that it has on the parents. Okay. So the topic of discussion on tonight, let me get to my comments because I need to be able to see. Yes. Yep. That's it. The T topic. Ghost parents present but not present. The devastating effects it has in parenting. Now, let me just state this. Hello, Maisha. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so I have two administrators with me, and we sit down and we go over. I bring topics to them, and they tell me yes or no. They say yeah or nay, because it's good, to have people in your corner when you're doing a thing. No man is an island. That's why it's all about relationships. This is all about relationships and help us in one another and building. And there are matters, there are situations. I get a lot of different inboxes. I don't always discuss those. But so everyone will know, I don't share information unless I am told that it's okay. But I've had times where topics have come across where I was asked in the past or in the present, can we discuss these things? Because these are things that need to be discussed and it's affecting relationships, bonds, family, whatever. So this was one of the discussions. And I was like, I'm a little familiar with this. This was discussion is called Ghost Parent, present but not present, and the devastating effects it has in parenting. We're going to talk about that. And I really need everyone to participate in this because I have people, specific people, that are coming on the line at a later date, at a later time, specifically to watch this content. So I really need to make sure that we hit on as much as we possibly can. Now, the first thing is, what is a ghost parent? Now, a lot of people have heard it or just, say it doesn't quite know what that means. Ghost parent is typically the parent, they're in the house, they're present. Now, not even just in the house, they are in the life of the child, but they technically not present in the nurturing and caring aspect of the child. They think because their physical body, their body is there physically, but they're really detached from the raising of the child, of children. That is truly what it is. That's why we're saying being present but not present, meaning that you are physically there, but you are really emotionally and mentally detached. Like a lot of times where I can tell you, I know what it's like to have a parent provide physically, make sure all your needs are met, and um, everything that you can care for, meaning that the roof is over your head, food is on your table. They're taking care of all of I guess you could say, the tangible things. But that's not enough when it comes down to parenting. And believe it or not, the effects of a ghost parent is just as almost the same in terms of the effects of it as a parent who is not in the home. Yeah, yes. Study has shown that a parent can be in the home and a parent who is not in the home. Like suppose there was a divorced family member, divorced couple. Let me just use that. You can have a divorced couple or just two parents who are co-parenting. And the person who's not in the home is as active as the one who is the primary caregiver, because they're physically interacting, they're interacting with the care, the natural care, they're interacting with the upbringing, the things you have, that it is possible that that can happen. But the thing about having a ghost parent, the detrimental effects of it is that the children will, those who are in the home and the other parent that is in the home, they tend to look, you expect it to be a different type of scenario. You know, my tree naturally said it's true. You would think that it would be more of you would think that the parent that because the parent is in a home, you automatically think that there will be interaction. And that is not always, hello, cousin Kama. That is not always the case. I mentioned your garment, I mentioned your oil, and I mentioned the t-shirt. So please don't forget before you this is over to put up your link. So if people want to purchase the oil for their hair, and if they wanted to get the t-shirt, that they'll be able to do that. Okay, so going back to the topic, let me put it back up again. Um, I think I should have pinned it, Montrese. I think I'm going to pin it on. Yeah, I'm going to pin it. This is the topic of discussion, so I'm going to keep that pin there, so that people can see when they come on. Oh, you're welcome, cuz. So it is alarming. It is to alarming effect because people don't realize that when the parent is present but yet absent, it affects the child in so many aspects. It affects them, their development, believe it or not, and it affects them eventually emotionally. Hello, Alicia, good to see you. It affects their development, affects them and so many aspects. Socially, it plays a role. And the thing about it is that a lot of times these parents start, because you know it can be a male parent, it could be the father or the mother. If the mother could be there but working all the time, not giving the nourishment, the nurturement, the child feels that, and therefore that comes. Hello, Sister Cynthia, my sister's here, number one fan, love you, thank you. What happens is the children, please, everyone, please take a look at the comment and take a look at the topic and feel free to comment on here. I have people that are going to I have people who are going to be tuning in who really want to hear what we are saying relating to this, because this is really becoming a devastating factor for young lady and just some people in general. So Manchi says some people think because they're there, that's enough. And the child sees them in the house, so the child knows I'm present. Yes, what happens is just because you're present, that's not enough. That's just like saying, you know, it's um, quality is saying that is more that quality is over quantity, because you can have a lot of something but it's no quality, so it's really of no value. Your presence is there but it serves no value. You understand? And the thing about it, what can that child walk away with? I do can Like I said, i i I made this statement. I remember, um and one of the let me just say this, um specifically in the Black community, uh, where there is two family homes per se. Um, a lot of times this is very present, and it's a lot of times it is because you don't know the level of the parenting, the parenting levels. For instance, I remember saying these words to my dad. I said, Dad, you know, my dad and I, we grew to have a very awesome relationship later in life. over when I was a child. And that is because there are some, and I'm using the men for instance, there are some men who know how to parent better as a child, as an adult, over parenting a child when they're like small. And the thing about it, the effects of that, you get it either way. You feel the effects of not getting the 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 parenting when you're young, and you see it as an adult. Even though you get the parenting as an adult, that time period of when you were young, you still got, you still reaping, or you're still dealing with the absenteeism of it. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. My dad was the great provider. My dad was, we have a lot of special things that we can speak of. But when it came, and I'm speaking of me now, because I do have family on here. Speaking of me, I can recall that I said to my dad one time, because my dad lived with me later on in life for about a year. And I remember telling him, I said, Dad, I says, I can't remember anything that you're telling me from a childhood that I can take into, that I was able to take with me into my adulthood. Like I don't remember conversations or going places, or I don't remember that. You pouring into me. I don't even have memory of you pouring into me. But when I became age and grown, wherein we were able to have conversation and sit down, all of that. That was, I was able to take that step. But there was so much that, like when I look at my daughter Cola, and I'm gonna have to use her for example. Her father and I'm gonna read yours, Cynthia, which my sister said. Boom. Before I mention Cola, let me say what my sister said, because we were in a home together. We were blessed. We had our mother and our father in our home with us. But she said, because a lot of times men are looked at as being the breadwinners of the homes. And that's what happened. We, in our era coming up, it was the men were the breadwinners and taking care of the physical aspect of the home, and the mothers were the nurturer. But the thing about it was, we still needed that nurturing, that emotional nurturing, that presence, that interaction with the father as well. And what happens is, when that is missing, there becomes an imbalance, and you can see the results of it in your adult life. You can have, and the thing about it, you don't know from whence that the evidence of it show, until you begin to look, and you be like, okay, those are the signs. Like they said, the signs of, um, they say sometimes there's insecurities, there's loneliness, there's worthlessness, poor behavior, unreasonable demanding. These are things that a lot of times that people have with them because of this particular thing, and they don't even realize that it came from that. Not saying that that's the only thing, but it can come from that, you know. And Montrese says, in my home, my daddy was the nurturer and my mother was the assurer. My dad told me I was beautiful. My mom assured me that I was. See, and see that's good. That's good. But you have somewhere, and you can have that. What she says, I think it plays a big role in how you live in your adult life. Yes. Okay, so now that's why I want to go to that. And so what happened is, like, I think about my daughter Cola. Even though her father was not in the home with her and I, there are things that she can say. My daddy told me this when I was little. My daddy took me here when I was little. My daddy and I did this. I didn't have that because my dad was the sole breadwinner, and therefore, he was out there, providing for the home. And so when he came home, that was his solace. And so what happens is, the thing about it, that the effects of that, it affects the household, it affects the children in the long run. And so I beseech you, I bring this up today because a lot of times the Black family need to understand that although you are providing, you still need to nurture. Although you're providing, you still need to be form relationships, creating unbreakable bonds. You must create these bonds with your children. Yes, came about. It's like being a married single parent. All parties suffer. A lot of women are carrying the burden parenting alone, but yet there is a spouse, father in the home. Everyone, oh, this is it right here. This is it right here. And it's no, and the thing about it is, um, and the thing about, like I said, a lot of times that mainly happen. It's not so much that a person or the father or even the mother, because it's not always the father that's this way. There are some families where the mother is not active in the life of the child. The mother just don't do any dealings with the child, and the father does it all. So it can happen both ways. You understand? And so, um, yeah. And so I've got to keep that up there for a little bit, what Caitlin wrote. And so it affects everyone. And so, because now let's just take this is the family dynamics, because remember, Tea Time with Tracy, we're all about unbreakable bonds, creating unbreakable bonds, and building the family relationship, spouses, mother and husband and wife, mother and daughters, sons and mothers, as so on and so forth. It's all about relationship. And these things need to be discussed and tackled, because at the end of the day, we need to understand that everyone is affected in the relationship, in the family dynamic. Everything that we do has a cause and effect. Everything we don't do has a cause and effect. So we must be very mindful of what we are doing when it comes down to our family unit. Because number one, as I always say, we have an enemy after our soul, and he does not like relationships. And so what he does all kinds of things to infiltrate into the relationship, in the family relationship. He messes up with the dynamics, and this is one of the areas that he messes with. Can I get some hearts? Can I get some hearts? And so he messes in that area, and we don't even realize it. And before we know it, time will extend itself. And before we know it, we're looking at our children and we're wondering why we're seeing certain aspects and certain things with them, because it stemmed from this very thing right here. Okay? It stems from this very thing right here. And so we have to be mindful. Married people raising children, it is very important that we consider the balancing of parenting. Even though you can be both parties working. You have both parties are working, providing, both parties still have to take care of the children. The child needs the nurturing of the mother just as much as it needs the nurturing of the father. And believe it or not, it is so evident when the father present physically there and not there emotionally. Alicia asked, is the ghost parent a ghost parent on purpose, or is that a character flaw? Good question. It all depends. It all depends, because I am very aware of, I've known of a couple where and this is why it's important when you are, and I don't want to deviate from the question, but I want to bring up something here. I am aware of a couple where they had 4 children, and the man only wanted to marry, only wanted the wife. He never wanted children. He didn't want children. And so he neglected the children, and the woman didn't know why he always neglected the children, and the children didn't understand why they went through the trials and tribulations they went through with their father. It was because he never wanted them, and they didn't know it until later on in life. And the sad part about that is that the woman thought because they were married that this was something that you just automatically do and that it was acceptable. But the thing about it is that these things must be discussed. Do this man want children? Are we together? Are we gonna have children? Do we both want children? How many children? Those things are very, very important, because what happens is then that's when it become a character. Is not a character flaw. It's that you know what? Because I didn't want them, this is why I'm responding this way. Then you have those who literally just don't know how to deal with, say, small children, and prefer to only deal with the older children, or children when they are older. You have that as well. Alicia says, is a ghost parent categorized as a ghost parent because they have not been taught or haven't learned how to be an active parent? Oh, wow. Oh, that's good. That's good right there. That's good. I think I skipped over my trees. Wait a minute. She said, do you consider dynamics in which that parent was raised? They only know how to be breadwinners and not present and nurturing. And boom, I gotta jump to Montrese before I come back to you, Alicia. Montrese, that is really good right there. That is really good. Do you consider that is which the parent was raised? They only know how to be breadwinners and not present and nurturing. That can be very true. And there was a time, and I believe that might have been the scenario, at least when it come down to my dad. That I believe, as far as my dad was concerned, is that that's what his dad. He was a provider, and people love on nurturing language could be different, because you can have where a father believe that this is my nurturing, providing, but his nurturing and providing, that is what he is saying to the wife. But the children who are saying, Daddy, I need you, Daddy, I want you, or Daddy, I want to be with you. And Daddy's like, I'm taking care of you, so that's enough. I don't have to have this time with you. So this is really, really good. And so going back to Alicia, she said, is a ghost characterized because they have been taught or haven't learned how to be an active parent? That can be, I don't know if you want to say that they're characterized as a ghost parent because they weren't taught, because at the end of the day, a parent, some things, I remember my bishop would say things like, some things aren't taught, some things are caught. And sometimes it have to be within you. You yourself have to have an idea of knowing what type of parent you want to be before you become a parent. Sometimes we miss the mark on saying, I'm taking a self check. What kind of parent do I want to be? And what kind of parent am I representing now? Montrese says in their eyes, I'm taking him home. Is that not enough? Provide so I can't nurture. True. And that could be the case too, Montrese. Kama said, but there are so many other things in life that we do and do well without an example. So maybe that's an excuse and not a reason. Oh, God. That's good, Kama. Did y'all see what Kama wrote? That's really good. That's really good. That's really good. And I think so sometimes that, there are examples that, so, that could be, the ghost parenting. Let me see. Alicia said, right. Yeah. But even though the family dynamic was different, when it come down to parenting, parenting is parenting. The child has a need. that needs to be met more than just um, providing. A child needs to be nurtured. It needs to feel the protection and love of the mother, as well as protection and love of a father. And they need the time. Time does wonders. Time, yourself, giving of yourself. That's just with anybody. We who are adults, if we receive someone a selfless act, if we can receive when someone gives them of themselves to you, you see what it does for you. Imagine what it does for a child, and imagine what it does to a child when they're not getting that. Martrice says maybe what you said, Martrice. Let me see. Boom. Exactly, Montrese. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing. We should be examples. We're supposed to be 10 times better than our parents. We're supposed to do things. We're supposed to be better. Every day and every way we want to be better. And that's a way to do that. Yeah, sometimes okay, Alicia, yeah. Um, True, there isn't a manual on parenting. There isn't a manual. But the thing is, that's why we study. We study our children. We do a retrospect or introspect of ourselves. We do, what is it, self checks. I think I want to use the right word. We want to do self checks with ourselves. It's really important. We really need to understand that. Hello, Russell. Thank you for tuning in. It would be nice to get a man's point of view about ghost parenting, Russell. We like to hear from you. Any of the brothers on the line, could you come in? We would love to hear from you. Let me see if I can get a hold of my friend Curtis, if he would tune in, because he likes to respond to things like this too. Yeah, so we want to, excuse me, let me get some water. I normally have tea, but because it's hot, I've been doing the water. So the thing is, I appreciate all of your comments. Your comments are really we really appreciate your comments. Please keep your comments coming. We welcome all comments. Your opinion matters here. It is very important that you understand that your opinion matters here. So we would love to hear from you. Yes, so don't no do not be afraid. Your comments, your opinions matter here. So the thing is, getting back to, I think I want to go back to Alicia, or was it Montrice's? There was a question in my. I'm dark. I do have the light on. My face is like, I don't know how to. I'm. Am I? I know. I was trying to figure. I don't have the other light on. Let me come up. Some maybe. I don't want to be all up in your face though. Is that better? I don't know. I don't know. It's fine. I'm good now. Okay. All right. I just don't want to be all up in your face. So I'm shining too right now. Look, I'm shining. So anyway, let's just get back to what I was saying. Is that I think that you know our relationships, our family relationships, and dynamics, and our family relationships, it's very important that we try to be mindful of, especially when there's children involved, that everything we do, that there is a cause and effect. Um, right, right. Right. Kama responded to Alicia. She said, "We have to be willing in all areas, especially in the area of our children, of being willing to make changes and be willing to do the necessary things that is necessary without making an excuse. Because sometimes people make an excuse instead of being having the will to learn. You know, it's sometimes it's the will to do that makes the difference. We have to be willing to do things different. We have to be willing to look at what you're doing and seeing the results. There's no way that you cannot see when things are not flowing in the way that it ought to flow as a couple, as when it comes down to your children. Why is it your children responding in the way that they are? What is happening? Why is it they're choosing, it appears that they're choosing one over the other? That should never be when it comes down to children. You know, I'm okay, we like to say, oh, children automatically go see others. Not necessarily. The children are gonna lean to the one who is doing the greater of the nurturing, the one that they feel is more uh, that's more involved with them or that more tentative to them. It's like anything it's like you're gonna draw yourself closer to the one that is giving you the attention. So most of the time the mother is the nurturer, the mother is feeding and all of that. So a lot of times that is why the children draw nearer to the mother. Montrese, I'm trying to get to your response. It's devastating though to have. It is devastating. Yes, that's what I was saying. It is devastating to have to be a hello, Shoshana. Please feel free to comment. It is devastating to have a ghost parent. And Kama's and mentioning, I have two sons, and they are both so different. And as a mom, exactly, exactly, exactly. You're and so if you got so you have two sons, so if they need parenting attention, affection, discipline different, as a parent, parents have to understand that. Parents have to understand it. So you know that because of your because you are studied your children. That's what we need to do. You know, we need to study our children. And so if the ghost parent who's just there physically and not involved with the child wouldn't know what the needs are of that child, and then you will see the effects of it from that child and interacting with that parent. It's so important. We have to understand that it is very, very important that we align ourselves and involve ourselves with our children and balance it. You know, fathers, do your part. Be active, not just providing, but give them your time and give them quality time. Pour into them. Build your relationship with your children and start as young as possible, because the younger you start, you got to remember our children don't remain little. They grow. Every day they grow and they develop, and each age and they go from stage to stage, and their needs are different at each level. And so let's just take for an instance a ghost parent father. If you're not active with the child, say from newborn up until they're 5, and then say from newborn up until they're 10, now they're 10 years old, and now you want to chasten them or chastise them, and they're gonna see you as they're gonna listen to their mom over you. because they're going to feel like, hey, you were, you may be here, you may be speaking, but you don't hold the power like the parent who was doing it already. Ooh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, we're getting ready to go somewhere. We're getting ready to go somewhere. Listen to what my sisters say, and y'all can comment on it. This is getting ready to take us to another place. Now, the father of her daughter, he had other children. And so she's stating that, hello, Carnell, Marie, y'all come on in. Please, your comments are welcome here. Please, I'm gonna put up real quick what the topic is. Oh, it's pinned there. Ghost parent, parent but not present, but not present, is having a devastating effect it has in parenting and on the children. It has in parenting as well as on the children. Now, my sister is stating that when it came down to her child, her husband, her father, she said, parent different than her father. She's my only child, but he has other children, so he don't really understand the way that she was parenting, and she didn't know what it's like having more than one. Hello, Marie. Thank you for joining in and doing it his way. And so sometimes when a parent, if you have two parents and you have a parent who already had children, and then you have a parent who's just now having children, there's a difference in the parenting, because there are things that the new person who's just now having children is going to respond and see things different than the one who already had children. Marie says it makes it hard for the visible parent to still teach the child to love and respect that respect the I miss it. Right. Oh, the absent parent. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. We're on the path. Y'all come on in. Let's do this, because this is really good right here. So I want to really go back to what Cynthia was saying. She was speaking about that she was saying that because she was raising a child, her only child, her daughter's father had other children. So the way he was dealing with her one child is different than how she would see it, because she only have one. She's the one that she has with him is adding on to what he already has. So he may not be as present. Or let me see. Montrese, y'all helping me out here. She said, I believe it's important to spend time with your children. You have to show them how much you love and adore them, as well as how important they are to you and the world. When time flies and memories are all that's left, what will sustain the child is what you showed and not what you said. Not the money you spent, but the time you put in. Oh! I got to close that one, Montrese, because that's covering my face. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, she hit it on the nose, which is where I want to go to. Oh, oh, parents, 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 parents. We must understand how crucial and how that really affects the lives of our children. We can get so caught in the providing aspect, and we lose the weight and lose out on how the importance of your time, your availability, your physical presence, as well as your emotion, your everything about you need to be there. And so what happens is when you miss out on that, the children grow. The children grow and they remember your absence, that you're not being there. You were physically there, but your presence wasn't there. and they take it personally. They take it as if you weren't there, even though you were physically there, but your present, you wasn't there with them. Marie said, I told my kids that they are the better part of me. To now see this video of pursuing his dream. Yes, kids needs to know exactly. So the ghost parent, we need to understand that the ghost parent is not aware of, like I said, the effects that he has, and specifically not being involved, because it is a hard thing for a child to have its father in the home and not present. He's in a home, they're waking up, they're seeing him, but yet there's no interaction. She's seeing her daddy come in and go out, but there's no interaction. There's nothing coming from them. Woo! Marquise, you are really hitting it. You are really hitting it. And that's where I'm gonna go, because a lot of times we look at it like, you understand, you have parents in the home and you wonder, wait, didn't they have their mother and father? Why they acting like that? Wasn't their mother and father there? Why they doing that? Because they're there, but they weren't there. They were there physically, but they wasn't really involved in the life of the child, and knowing the child and studying the child and learning the child, partaking with the child, participating with the child, and pouring into the child. And I love you, and you know, this is really good. Okay, Alicia, you are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And but the thing about it is, we as the parent don't determine. It's the, can I get some hearts? It is the children that speaks on what it is, because like Kama said, she has two sons, and they require different things. Now let's just say, like let me use me and my sister Cynthia. I may require my mother to say, I love you, right? Cynthia may require my mother to show her through gifts that she loves her. But my mother, when she dealt with me with the gifts, and she told Cynthia she loves her. That means the wires were crossed. So what I should have got, I didn't get, and what Cynthia should have got, she didn't get. And at the end of the day, they were giving what we needed, but we weren't getting it from what we. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. You're following me? And so the thing about it, that's why you have to study your child. That's why it's important that you pay close attention to the needs of that child, and specifically when it's more than one. Now, Montrese says she thinks that it goes to what you show, not what you said, what you show them, because this is the thing, you know. But again, at the end of the day, we never know. You don't know until the child grows. Because one of the things I said, I'm a stickler for this. I believe this 100%. Let me see what my cousin is saying. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, cousin. I'm so glad you're here. I'm a stickler that I believe that, which I got my next book is coming out soon. I'm gonna tell you about it, but I'm gonna, we have to understand that there are things that, you know, when your children are little, it's one thing, and when they get older, it's something totally different. My cousin said the really, unless the cycle is broken, it's a reflection of what their parents passed down. Whew, whew. So it goes down to it then that a lot of times, so Alicia, my cousin is stating that a lot of times ghost parents that is passed down. Hello, Linda. Thank you for tuning in. Sometimes it's passed down if especially if they're in the home. But what happens to my thing is the part that I think is missing is, hold on, the part I think is missing. I don't want to lose my train of thought. I think the part I'm looking at is that when it comes down to ghost parent being present, your physical presence, we have to get away from thinking that that's enough. We have to get away from thinking that just providing for our children is enough. We have to get away from thinking that that's all that the other spouse wants from you is to just provide. The family unit, the family structure, it is very, very important that the children is feels the balance of the mother and the father. It is prevalent because the effects of it is devastating. We finding out why children grow and they have suicidal thoughts, depression, anxiety, learning disabilities, developing slow mobility, all kinds of things comes from that. We don't want to look at it like that, but it is true. It is really true. Nasharel said, "My problem is speaking more on how others are being treated, but I never speak uh, on what natural wants and need." I'm sorry, Natural. I gotta figure out what my problem is speaking more on how others are being treated. Okay, I don't want to lose the thought. So I'm not dismissing you, Natural, but I'm trying to find out what you're speaking on here because we're trying to. The topic is about ghost parents and parents that are present, physically present, but not present. And so I'm trying to see where you're lining up with your comment, but I'm trying to see if I can associate it. So I want to make sure. Are you saying that um, as the other parent, or are you speaking of as the child? And that because sometimes children can get to a point where they should be able to tell, oh, put everyone first. And so, but we're talking on the ghost parent aspect, the parent, the missing parent who, oh, you're speaking as a child. Okay, got you. So as a child, so that's another thing. You know, as a child, she may have been wearing, let's just say natural, as a child, you've been the child where you know that there was things that your parents are in a home, but you didn't tell them what you need. You went according to what that you just accepted what it was over what, and this is another thing too that affects us from our childhood. It's like because you didn't know, because you couldn't express or you didn't express, that brought you to adult life wherein you put everybody first, you put everything first because you still looking for that place to be first. Because a lot of times we become what we wasn't or what we didn't have. So if you was never first, you put people first. I got you. I think I got you there. You'll take care of everybody else with the pretense of thinking that you're gonna be. That's where the part where the day-to-day presence is critical. That's where the part comes in the development. You know, that's where the development comes in at. that it affects adulthood, and your adulthood, you find out that you miss out on, Can I get some hearts? Are you there with me? Are you there with me? Because the thing about it is that as ghost parents, okay, we got a good one here because I got a little. Whoo! Woo! Whoa, 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 whoa. Are y'all reading that? I think I'm going to read it. I know y'all see it, but I'm going to read it. Montree says she read an article on how married people put kids so much ahead of themselves that when the kids leave the nest, they don't know how to love each other. Maybe the ghost parent feels that the kids come before them and it affects how the ghost parent interacts with the child. Could it be jealousy? Oh my goodness. Did y'all see that? I got to leave that there for a little bit because I want to respond to that. Now see, so are you stating that the ghost parent becomes a ghost parent because the other parent has put the child over them? Now that's a whole nother scenario there. That's a whole nother scenario, because then what happens there, then that's where the dynamics change. The dynamics change when that happens, because then what happens on that aspect, then that means the wife, because it's normally a husband and wife or whatever, but that means you stop being the wife and you just be the mother. There has to be a balance with everything. Just like the father has to be more than just a provider, the wife has to be just because you're a mother, you still have to be a wife to your husband. You still have to show him, just with the nurturing and the emotional, everything that you provide for the child. You still have to carry out the responsibility as a wife to your husband. It is still important because everything affects one another. Everything affects one another. Everything. So sometimes everybody can miss the mark. Come on in, y'all give me some hard time. Is this a good topic? I need to hear from you. I think this is really good here. The thing is that you said, could it be jealousy? Let's see. Wow. Wow. Okay, so this is a whole nother dynamic here. But what you're saying makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense, what you're saying. That makes a lot of sense. So sometimes, so that takes us back even into the olden times, where we were like, the man was like, okay, well, you're going to take care of the kids. You're going to do everything for the kids. Then I'm just going to provide. Okay, because I'm not front and center. I'm not the focal point. The children is your focal point. So we're going to keep it like that. But the problem with that solution is this. Who's going to feel the effects of it? The child. The child will feel the effects of that type of decision making. When it come down to a couple making the decision that, okay, well, long as if you're gonna provide, if you're gonna be nurturing, then I'm just gonna do the providing. And the child is like, I need both, and I need it from both. I need to feel the nurturing of my dad. I need to feel the nurturing of my mother. I need to know that my father is providing. I need to know that we have all my needs met from both my parents. Yeah. So it's a really, really serious thing there, because I think what happens is that, again, it's very important to understand that children need to be able to um, have a relationship with both parents. The relationship should not be built on one parent, especially in a household of two. There's no way two parents should be in a household and one should be absent. Like Kama wrote earlier, it's like a married single parent home. And the responsibility is on one parent. There's a problem with that. That's going to affect the whole dynamics. And it will turn the house upside down because the other parent feels the weight of that missing parent who is present, and the child feel the neglect of that missing parent who is present. And so it throws everything off balance. And so because we're trying to create these bonds, we have to reconsider these types of scenarios. We have to reconsider, am I present physically only? Am I present providing only? Am I present only nurturing? So then we have to look at our children and we have to see what is happening and the results that I understand. When we see things happen or unfold down the line, we have to remember those days of when you was just physically present but technically absent. You know? So please follow me on my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel as well. And that's what we need to. This is why we're having this discussion today, is that we need to change that. We need to change the mindset of thinking that it's okay that to raise a child as though the other parent isn't there, even though they're there. But we have to find a way to come together and make it so that we understand that each one of us are important in the life of the child, and that the child needs to have a bonding relationship with its father and with its mother, and that the family as a unit must be grounded together. And we must build that. We must make that happen together, because our children, the outcome of our children is predicated on that. When we see our children with low self-esteem, it's predicated on that. When we see our children in discomfort and with all kinds of issues, it's because of that. Ooh, boom. Cornell said, it's important to choose a mate that you're not raising another child, but a partner to raise the children. And that's what happens too. It is both based on the mate part. Oh my goodness. Kamen said, if sons are watching this behavior, chances are they will become a ghost parent and be providers only. And if daughters are watching this behavior, chances are she will become the wife of said ghost parent. It's a vicious cycle. We have to work, communicate, come together to do better. Oh, oh my goodness. This is absolutely on point. Cornell, Kamer, y'all hit it on the head. Montrese, y'all hitting it on the head. Most homes are broken because of the lack of support and affection from the ghost parent, and they leave the present parent to support, raise, defend, and teach the child. Boom. And this is why we have to do better. We have to understand the importance. It is very important that we come together and recognize this is how come we are going from. Remember, I relate to the mothers because we are the nurturers, the gateway to the future, and what we see, these relationship things is very important. But fathers, your presence are so important, so important. And the children need you. They need your presence. They need your affections. They need your teachings. They need your guidance. And they need your protection and provision. It's needed. And that's the way that we build and we have to create. And the thing about it, we have to start very young. We have to start this. We have to. We have to, because we keep these cycles are keep repeating itself because we are not stopping to take a moment and say, hey, wait a minute. I noticed in these 30 days, or just say this week alone, my wife has been with the kids every single day. And I can't say that one thing that I said to that child, not one thing that I did with the child, except for bringing the groceries, except for pay the gas bill, the light bill, the car. Those things are a must, yes. But that child don't know that. That child knows daddy came home, picked me up. Daddy came home, sit down and color with me. Daddy came home, listen to what my day was like, Dad. Daddy came home, played the game with me on a video game. Daddy came home, hey, son, hey, daughter, talk to me. Daddy came home. The child need to be able to say, Daddy came home and this is what I did with Daddy. Not Daddy came home and that was it. He went and go on and did what he needed to do for himself. Whew. And you who are recognizing that there is a ghost parent there, there is ways to. Now, this is where I believe that sometimes you can have a person who, let's just say, the ghost parent don't even realize or recognize that they are being this. If they don't recognize they're being this, then you are responsible, because it's, remember, at this point, it's really not about, it's about your child and your children development and them becoming the best that they can be, providing that you give them the best that you can give them with all earnesty and diligence, knowing that this is what you know. So you say, hey, listen, in this past 7 days, have you noticed how you interact with our children? Have you noticed when you came in what you did? Have you noticed? Because we have one of the things too we must be careful of when we're in this. This is a really touchy topic and touchy situation, because now it's you calling another parent out. It's you saying, I'm this and you're not, or you're not and I'm this. So we have to be mindful on how that is being put out there. So when you begin to look at it, you'll understand, okay, wait, hold up. Let me say this correctly to get them to see it. Have you considered? And then you hear from them. and you get their feedback and let them express to you what their thoughts are, because they may never even pay it attention. And then then you do that, and then y'all working from there. So you're like, listen, I'm letting you know. I noticed this with our children, that they responding like this to you. I noticed why all of a sudden, every time when you reach, they reach for me, or every time, certain things, you got to put it out there. You got to put it out there. And then if it's the person who's never, um, who just, who strategic, who just purposefully responded as a ghost parent, explain to them, our children, what you are doing is affecting our children. If you're, and then not only if you're affecting our children, you're affecting me, because we're in this together. So these ways to how you want to handle that. You understand? So that's how I want to see it. But I have gone way past my time. I think we're going to pick up on this on next Monday. Can I get some hearts? I thank you all for tuning in with me with Tea Time with Tracy. Oh, my grandson is coming. So this is my signal. So I want you all to tell you that thank you for tuning in with Tea Time with Tracy. I appreciate each and every one of you. Your comments were magnificent. You appreciate your comments here. If you desire to be a blessing, you are welcome to. I always forgot to put that up there. So let me let you see that. Also, please be sure to tune in on next Monday, because we're going to take this on another level. I think this is something that is worthy to be should be put out there. Kama, if you're still on the line, please type in your link so I can put it up there now. So I want it to be on this live. So if you're still on, please put in your link for your journey. She got my cousin. She got her own hair oil. It's really good natural oil. It's called Journey Oil. Did I do it right? Doing it right. Journey Rain, and it's really good product. So you might want to get it. And she have a T-shirt. It's called Saved and Natural. And so I just wanted to give that little plug. But you are definitely I want you to also follow me. My goodness gracious. Follow my where is that? My YouTube. I got a YouTube page. So I'm trying to get that going. So I want you all to also. Yes, cuz thank you. Add it. Yes. I appreciate all of your comments. It's been most helpful. This is what it's all about. We are helpers of one another. It's very important that we do have these types of discussions and bring these to the forefront, because again, Tea Time with Tracy is all about encouraging, admiring, and assisting one another. It's all about us building our families. Yes. Good night to all. It's all about us building our families and creating unbreakable bonds. Because anything is the bond. Once anything a bond, it cannot be broken. And so we desire that your families will grow, and that your relationships grow and build. That's what it is all about. That's what it's all about. Good. She put her link up, so you might want to get. All you got to do is click on a link, and you're able to get your make your purchase of the items that she have. But it's really good. It's going to be really helpful for those who got issues what they hear and what they hear to grow. As y'all can see, I do, and I know I'm going to have some good results from her product. So I recommend that you get it. It's called Journey Oil, and the product is called Journey Rain. So you might want to look into that and get that. And she has T-shirts, which is a soft material, really good. So I just want to share that with you all. Okay, so again, thank you for tuning in to Tea Time with Tracy. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you all on next Monday. Again, remember your opinions matter here. We welcome you. And again, always remember, before I go off, this is one of the things I always do, because nothing that I do. Without God, I will be nothing. Without Christ, I am nothing. It is He that I give me my life and I have my being. But I want to tell you this. I always say to you, I have accepted Jesus Christ as my personal Savior, and I offer Him to you today. Accept Jesus today as your personal Savior. He is the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father except by Him. And there's nothing better than to accept in Christ, knowing that to continue this life, to continue with Him, is the best thing I've ever done. I've never, the best choice I've ever made in my life. And I tell you, the best thing to do is that you make that choice. The Bible tells us in Romans 10:9 that if a man believe in his heart and confess with his mouth that Jesus died and God rose Him up from the dead, you shall be saved. As simple as that. That's all it takes. And so I say unto you that you said, Lord Jesus, come into my heart. I repent of my sins. I accept you as Lord and Savior of my life. I ask you, God, that you forgive me and that you become Lord of my life. I surrender unto you. I believe that you died for me. I believe that God rose you up. I believe that you are the Lord of my life, and I accept you today. And once you do that, that's all it takes. And I tell you, what a blessed life. God, knowing that you don't have to live the remainder of these years without Him. God, and you know this, the heavens are rejoicing to all that accept Him as their personal Savior. And as the heaven rejoice, so does we at Tea Time with Tracy rejoice for you for giving Christ your life. So until next time, I see you all. Have a blessed night. Good night. And we will be back on next Monday at 8 o'clock, same time and same topic. This is really interesting. Ghost parents, present but not present. There's so much to be learned from this. There's so much that we can discuss with this one further. God bless you all.